Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. It is already basically almost the middle of December. That is hard to believe. I hope you are all doing well. If you are new, please consider subscribing and join me on my budgeting journey. I am Deidre, by the way. I am in my mid to late 30s. I live in Canada and I have been consumer debt free since April of this year. My goal was to be debt free this year, probably by July or something, but I achieved that goal earlier. And now I am working towards some bigger goals. And just a huge amount of love out to my returning subscribers. I appreciate you being here so much. So I'm hoping you're watching this video because you like watching people save money, different ways to save money. Everybody saves differently. I am going to be using some tiny mini challenges that are from some amazing creators here. I link everybody below. You can go over to their Ko-fi shops and get them for free. You can save as much as you want using most of them, and always tailor it to your budget and your life. That is what I highly recommend. So yes, we are going to be using some placeholders as I'm in Canada, and we do not have $1 or $2 bills. We have coins. I don't like to use them. They're just more of a hassle. When I go to the bank, I want to just be able to deposit money through the ATM, and you can't do that with coins. You'd actually have to go into a teller, and I'm not always able to get to a bank during their banking hours. So I use placeholders. I don't know if the person I got the placeholders from still has an active shop. I haven't looked, but I have linked it below. So we are going to be putting $10, and we're going to be rolling a die, and we're going to see. I have 6 different challenges. I'm just going to shove this money. So I work in intervals of $5 and $10. So this is money that has already been stuffed, that hasn't been stuffed back into an envelope, as it hasn't reached the $5 or $10 interval. So we have 6 different challenges. I'm not going to pull them out of my binder. I'm just finding it just works a lot easier. I have 6 different challenges. At the back I have a bunch of placeholders, and I also have some challenges to use when I complete these. Now most of these will go towards sinking funds. They save mostly between $10 and I think maybe $25, so not a lot. I don't put a lot in here, but it's nice that I kind of drip feed a little bit into my sinking funds kind of when these are finished. Most of the time it's just some extra money to put in there. So yes, we have $10. I'm not going to bore you by counting out the placeholders. And we have challenges 1 through 6. Like I said, we're going to roll a die. We're going to see where the money lands. When we figured that out, I will pull out the challenges. I'll tell you where they're all from, and we will I will show you where I've allocated that money to go. So yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but I hope that it's going okay and it's not too cold. If you're in like the northern hemisphere, living in Canada, our weather is always a bit sort of crazy, I find. I am finding the winters are getting way colder, it seems like. Number 4 really wants some money. Okay, and I don't want to have to cheat. I don't want to have to swap the die out. So number 2. Okay, number 6, I believe, needs to get some love to be finished. So come on, number 6. Number 4. And you know what? I believe number 6 needs one to finish, so I am just going to cheat on that one. So yes, as I was saying, sorry, living in Canada, I'm finding where I'm in Canada, the weather seems to be cold. Winters are really cold. It's not like the entire winter, but you'll have like at least 1 or 2 months where it just seems to be really cold. Lately, that's been more in like January, February, March-ish usually. December really hasn't been super horrible, but I'm fingers crossed that I just want the temperatures to stay somewhat consistently. Not too cold, not too warm. Just can we stay at like -10, -15 at the most? Like -40, and then a wind chill on top of that is just brutal. So So hopefully you're not experiencing that kind of weather like we are here. So first up, challenge 1 is from Nori at Norellis Budgets, and it's Elisa Frank. And this one is earmarked just for sinking funds, so just generic sinking funds. When I finish, I then decide which sort of needs some love. And it got 2, by the way, sorry. Kind of pulled that out of frame. So in this Lisa Frank challenge, we have 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we are almost finished. So we will see if this gets finished next time. All right, number 2, that is my challenge. I don't make a whole bunch of challenges. I just had this idea to make gemstone ones. And if you go into my Ko-Fi, it will be linked down below. There is 3 different sort of gemstone challenges that you can get absolutely free, and you can make them whatever you want in terms of your budget. So I got one today. I've earmarked each one to be $1. Oh, and by the way, this is just going to generic sinking funds. Okay, so we have 10, 11 in here. So this one's getting close too. So we'll see what happens next time. Next up, I don't know who this one is from, unfortunately, so I can't link them, but I just had to use it. It is a December challenge. I have earmarked each one to be 50 cents, and the reason being is then it works out to a nice $15, and I've earmarked this for gifts. So this is just gifts in my sinking funds. They don't tend to get a whole lot of love, as most birthdays and occasions that I spend money on are in the spring and summer. So just a little added boost to that. Oh, and I can color too, sorry, because that one's, each one's 50 cents. I'm used to them being $1, so just gotta pay more attention, I guess. Okay. All right, challenge number 4 that really wanted some love. So this one is a little puppy challenge from Sandra over at My Chaotic Budget. I have earmarked each bone to be $1. It saves a total of 20, and it's just earmarked for generic sinking funds. So it just became part of the rotation because I finished some challenges last time. So definitely go check them out. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have already finished an entire row. So that is great. And like I say, this doesn't get a whole lot of money, and it just kind of drip feeds into some sinking funds when they get finished. So next up is from Bobby over at Canadian Finance Journey. Yes, I know it's a trick or treat one. I know we are past that time, but I am just using challenge that I already have. And this one saves a total of 20, and it's earmarked for new vehicles. So if you are new around here, I plan to purchase a vehicle in a few years. Let's knock on wood, nothing goes wrong. And I do not want to take on debt for that, or as little debt as possible. So I am saving money towards a new vehicle. It's going to be a line item in my budget in 2026, and just kind of getting in that habit of saving for a new vehicle. I have not had a vehicle payment in I don't even know how long. So it's not one of those situations where what they recommend, most people in the finance space will say, once you're done paying off your car loan, we'll turn around and save that money for the next time that you need to purchase another vehicle. Well, I haven't had a car loan in forever. I was focusing on getting, well, technically, I think some of that car loan was rolled into my debt, but it was all on one line of credit. So yeah, just gonna start that habit of saving some money for a new vehicle. And today it got 1. So in this challenge, it has 5 and 6. All right, let's see if this finished this. I'm really, fingers crossed, hoping that it did, because this challenge is fabulous, but it's been around a while. So this one is a happy birthday challenge from Sin on a Budget. Definitely go check Sin out. She's super positive. I just love her positivity. So definitely go check her out. And this one is earmarked for gifts, and it got 1. And so technically there is only 18 hats, but because I like to work in $5 and $10 denominations, I've made it so it was 20. So we should have 20 here. So we have 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. That is correct. So I am just going to put these placeholders back so they can be used again. And I am going to pull out the 10 just because there's a chance that I might need that 5 next time. So, actually, before I redistribute the money, I am going to look for a challenge to replace it with. And you know what? I am going to use another one from Sin because I know I printed out a few. So, let's take a look. We have 2, 4, 5. So this will save. I'm going to make them each $1. So it saves a total of 15. And because I already have a gift one earmarked for this, I am just going to, because I don't want to have 2 gift challenges in the same thing. So what do I think I'm going to need to have a boost? You know what? I'm going to put this to my health sinking fund. I know we're going to be going into next year here soon, but you know what? If I could have some money in that, it's just like a nice little buffer. So then maybe towards the end of the year when I'm having to pay out of pocket and not be reimbursed, that is what I will do. So I am going to put this money into my sinking fund. And it's going into my gifts envelope. And this has not had money for quite a while. And so I'm just going to go savings chow. And we are putting in 20. So that's good. So this kind of will have some money in there if I absolutely need to get something in the next little while for a gift. I save for Christmas separately. And you will see that in cash stuffing or sinking fund updates. You will see that. I save digitally, but I start saving in January. So come, November, December, it's almost fully funded and I can be purchasing gifts, but I can purchase gifts along the way for Christmas if I see a really good deal. So yes, I finished a challenge. Thank you so much, Sin, for these amazing challenges. I'm so happy. And that gift's got a nice little boost. I'm going to put this in my drawer where I've been saving some of these little minis that have been finished just so I can look back. So yes, I appreciate you being here so much. Again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, as I want to do a giveaway when I reach 500 subscribers. You can only win if you're subscribed. And just yes, thank you to my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll check out my next video. Bye, everybody.